stand the watch. We answer the call. We go in harm's way so others may live. Around the world and around the clock.
Received a report of an overdue sailboat.
We save. We protect.
All stations, all stations, all stations.
We defend. We are the United States Coast Guard. And when one of us faces hardship, we help our own. That is Coast Guard Mutual Assistance. That is the power of us.
So the power of us, Coast Guard Mutual Assistance. Great words, great slogan. What does it really mean? CGMA has been around for just over 100 years. It was created because even though we wear a uniform, receive a paycheck of sorts, and are provided health care and other benefits, life still happens. And sometimes the going gets rough. During the 2018-19 government shutdown, my son was an MK1, an EPO, a good coastie with an amazing spouse and 2 children. He was doing everything he was supposed to do. He called me and told me he did not have enough money to get through the first missed paycheck. He wasn't sure he had enough for the next 2 weeks. So he went to a food bank and picked up groceries. So here's a first-class petty officer serving his country and wondering whether he had enough money to feed his family. That's not irresponsibility, that's life. A car breaks, a PCS costs more than you expected, a loved one gets sick, and suddenly there just isn't much left. I spent a lot of years telling coasties, save your money, invest, build an emergency fund. Well, that's all good advice, but I'll tell you something else. I wasn't particularly good at it myself. When I retired after 32 years, I had no real emergency fund, and I know I wasn't alone. That's why we need to be careful about financial stigma. We sometimes assume that if somebody needs help, they failed. They didn't save enough, they didn't plan enough, they made a bad decision. Sometimes people make mistakes, but many times life just happens. A good coastie can have a financial problem. A responsible family can need help. And when somebody comes to us and says, I'm in trouble, our first response shouldn't be judgment, it should be, let's figure this out. That's leadership, and that's helping our own. A Coast Guard family recently had to PCS. Their children relied on specialized medical equipment to survive. That equipment couldn't move with their household goods. Insurance wasn't going to cover it, and it was going to cost the family $12,000. This is a petty officer now. This family was already caring for children with serious medical needs, already moving, and now they have to figure out how to move equipment their children need to live. CGMA stepped in and paid to move it as a grant, taking care of one less impossible problem for a Coast Guard family to solve. That's mutual assistance. That's the power of us. Sometimes the stakes are even higher. CGMA has a program called Safe Harbor that helps members of our Coast Guard families escape domestic violence. Sometimes the only thing keeping somebody in a dangerous situation is that they don't have the resources to leave. When someone in our family is in danger, we should be there, and we are. In 2026, CGMA provided over $118,000 to help victims escape domestic violence. CGMA has many different programs and has been helping our own for more than a century. Through world wars, major disasters, multiple government shutdowns, oh my God, and thousands of emergencies that never make the news. The circumstances change, The Coast Guard changes, but CGMA does not. Coast Guard people helping Coast Guard people. CGMA isn't some outside organization coming in to help us. CGMA is us. Last year, more than 4,000 members of the Coast Guard community received assistance from CGMA. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I've never needed CGMA, good, I hope you never do. I didn't need it for 32 years, but I gave then and I still give today because somebody out there does need it. So to the enlisted leaders in this room and in the larger Coast Guard, we need you to take point for your people. Know what mutual assistance can do. Know the various mutual assistance programs. Make sure your people know it's available. Support your CGMA representative. And when somebody comes to you for financial help, use CGMA to solve the problem. And yes, I'm asking you to support CGMA financially too. $5, $10, whatever makes sense. Because when a lot of coasties give a little, we can be there when one coastie suddenly needs a lot. So that's what I want you to take from this today. You are all the Coast Guard chiefs. You're coming from all across the Coast Guard. You have a huge amount of sway in what goes on. Know the resources available through CGMA. Make sure your people know them. Help sustain this resource for the generations who come after us. Because we are the Coast Guard. We are Coast Guard Mutual Assistance. We help our own because that's the power of us. Thank you and Semper Paratus.